Here we go. 2, 3.
Everybody, get up on your feet. See the light in everybody you meet. Everybody, get up on your feet. See the light in everybody you meet. Let us be reminded of who we've come to be. We are love, we are one big family. Hey, hey, yeah, yeah. Hey, 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 yeah, yeah. Oh. Everybody, get up on your feet. See the light in everybody you meet. Everybody, get up on your feet. See the light in everybody you meet. Let us be reminded of who we've come to be. We are love, we are one big family. Hey, hey, yeah, yeah. Hey, 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 yeah, yeah.
Let us make a joyful sound.
Let us make a joyful sound. Here we stand on holy ground. Let us make a joyful sound. Here we stand on holy ground. Let us make a joyful sound. Hey, 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 hey. Everybody, get up on your feet. See the light in everybody you meet. Everybody, get up on your feet. See the light in everybody you meet. Let us be reminded of who we come to be. We are love, we are one big family. Hey, hey, yeah, yeah. Hey, 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 yeah, yeah. Hey, hey, hey.
Good morning. Welcome to the Center for Spiritual Living in Santa Rosa. I'm Russ Laguerre. I'm your assistant minister, and I'm so glad to be here with you today. Can we give some more love to our fabulous band? Well, spring is upon us here in the Northern Hemisphere, and we are celebrating the renewal of nature. And Abdul Baha, the son of the founder of the Baha'i faith, says, "Praise be to God that the bounty of spring has come, that the earth has become verdant, that the gardens have become fresh and green, and that the trees have put forth leaves and blossoms." Well, isn't that true? So we aspire to express that life that we find within springtime here at the center. So whether you're in the room or you're watching online, please know you are very welcome here, where we aspire to see that life within you. Now, please join me in reading out loud our mission. The Center for Spiritual Living is a spiritual community that promotes global transformation through personal transformation. Our purpose is to awaken humanity to its spiritual magnificence. We are motivated by a compelling global vision that inspires us to bring the gifts of compassion, integrity, and loving kindness to the world through our programs and teaching. Together, we are helping create a world that works for everyone. And we work towards this mission through our 5 spiritual practices. And would you read those with me? Spiritual study, affirmative prayer, meditation, selfless service, and spiritual circulation. We use flowers here at the center to send messages of love and appreciation to one another. And today's flower dedication is for someone who is near and dear to all our hearts, our Chief Operating Officer, Linda Hahn. Now, you may not know this, but March 19 was Linda's 8-year anniversary with our center. And I have to tell you, it's hard to do a flower dedication for her because she's so plugged into everything here. We basically have to sneak behind her back to get it done and have it be a surprise. But you know what? That plugged-in attitude, that is why Linda is such a blessing to our center. So I just have to say, Linda, your love, dedication, and joyful spirit are some of the many ways that your presence in our community helps it to be the welcoming and heartfelt community that it is. We love you dearly and look forward to many more anniversaries. So thank you for sharing yourself so generously with our community. I'd now like to extend a very warm welcome to our first-time visitors. If it is your first time in our center, would you please stand as you're able or raise your hand? We'd love to bring you a flower and a welcome packet as a token of gratitude for joining us today. I know that somewhere between the music, the meditation, the prayer, the practices, and Dr. Edwards' message, you'll find exactly what you need for the next step of your spiritual journey. Please know you're very welcome here. Now, I invite you to sit back and relax and enjoy some music before our short time of silent contemplation and prayer.
As I say a tender yes to everything that comes to me, my heart is open, I am free. I open to all that is, it brings me to my I surrender, I am peace. As I say a tender yes to everything that comes to me, my heart is open, I am free. Me to my knees, I surrender, I am peace. surrender. I am peace.
There is only one life. It goes by many names, but whatever it is the only source, the only power, the only ground of being from which all else comes. There is a divine essence flowing through each and every one of its creations, connecting itself to those creations, connecting those creations to those creations, creating the unity that all diversity is. And I, as one of those creations, walk through this world as a spiritual being in human form, as does each one in this sanctuary and beyond. Each of us, diverse in our nature, but with that whole, complete, and perfect inside of us, that divinity, that divine essence. We walk through our world, making this place a better place for everyone. I accept this morning in this service the gift of community, the gift of sharing what consciousness is, what wholeness is, what love is, through the music, through the message, through the prayer, through the announcements, through the camaraderie that we each express as we meet ourselves and each other with loving eyes and loving words. I give great thanks for the realization of consciousness as it shows up through each one of us, and I simply release this word into the law, which always acts as it is directed. And together we say, and so it is. Amen. Please join me in the affirmation on the board. I celebrate the unity of all people and the unfolding of truth. And so it is.
How does the light move through you? What is the shining star that lights you? If you could write a song, would you sing that song all day long? If you could write a book, would you write that book as long as it took? If you know what makes your heart sing and the muse that pulls your heartstrings, do it now. If you could sail a ship, would you set out on a worldwide trip? If you could fly a plane, would the sky become your new domain? If you know what makes your heart sing and the muse that pulls your heartstrings. Do it now. If you dream it's possible, you will be unstoppable. If you could be more kind, would you feel peace of mind? If you had a skip in your step, would you feel truly blessed? If you know what makes your heart sing and the muse that pulls your heartstrings, do it now, do it now, do it now, do it now. If you know what makes your heart sing and the muse that pulls your heartstrings and the gift that lights your shining, do it now, do it now, do it now, do it now, do it now. How does the light move through you? What is the shining star that lights you?
Oh, thank you very much. That's beautiful. Good morning. It seems like the new year was just a moment ago. Yeah, I can hardly believe that it's March and spring. I know a lot of people look forward to a fresh start and a new beginning at the beginning of each new year. And it turns out that the people of the Baha'i faith that we're studying are doing that right now. Looking forward to a new beginning, because today is the day of the new year, Nowruz, of the Baha'i New Year. Yeah. And it takes place when it's the spring equinox in the northern hemisphere. So round about March 2021, depending on the year and where the location is. So it's the first day of their calendar year. And the name Nowruz, it literally means new day. And in 2026, it marks the start of the year 183 of the Baha'i calendar. Yeah. So today we greet the Baha'i communities across the planet with a happy new year. That's wonderful. And as I was reading about this, I got to wonder if it's the same for the Baha'i people when it comes to New Year as it is for many of us when January 1st comes around. You know, with all of its promise of newness. Does it have the same elements in it, you know? Hopes, dreams, resolutions, disappointments. In reality, each new year, or actually any new beginning for that matter, brings with it a lot of unknown. I know when I face a new beginning of any kind in my life, there are 4 things that repeatedly come up, and I talk about these often: release, risk, follow through, and trust. So I'm going to talk about that today, and with support from some ideas from the Baha'i faith. Now, I am inclined to think that a new start can happen at any time. It doesn't need to be attached to a particular date, but it can be. Why not? But Science of Mind, our teaching, has taught me to think that every moment of my life is an opportunity for something new to happen. And it turns out that all new things, it seems, bring with them some of the challenges and tensions that go with starting fresh and new. Now, for example, let's imagine a scene with me. It's an old movie. Make it black and white. And an author sits at her desk looking at a blank page that's inserted into her typewriter. And she's just staring at it. It's almost like she's looking in a paralyzed way at the options there waiting to be explored, but she can't get going. I've been there. Have you been there? Oh my gosh, it's that what now moment. What next moment. And if you are a student of science of mind like I am, you've likely been taught to think of the blank pages of life as something potentially exciting. After all, who knows what may be possible? Well, that's something to think about. What if my default response to the unknown and to the new was to get curious and excited about it? The thing is, though, that when a fresh start or a blank page presents itself, it can come along with some of those creative blocks that our author was facing. It could be fear of the unknown. It could be that drop in enthusiasm for moving forward, or it could be hesitation or uncertainty. And, whatever the moment of change is, whether it's expected or unexpected, it can be anything. It could be moving to a new home. It could be making the decision to raise a child, or it could be starting a new relationship or ending a new relationship or staying in an existing relationship, or it could be completing a 30-year-long career like I am facing right now, I wonder what blank page exists in your life. What fresh start and what possibility, or which one's coming for you soon? And thinking about the Baha'i New Year, how can we prepare for this new beginning, whatever it is? In the Baha'i tradition, before the New Year comes, there's a period of 19 days of mandatory spiritual preparation. So the Baha'is, they fast from food, from smoking, from drink, from sunrise to sunset every day. So it becomes a period of clearing out the old to make room for the new. Now, there's something for me to learn in that practice. I like that, When it comes time for a new start, can I take some time to prepare myself spiritually, by contemplating, by breathing and pausing and watching, by spending time in nature so that I can imagine or journal, anything that gives me a pause, that slows down the normal pace of things, that gives me the opportunity to go inward and prepare spiritually for that which wants to happen. Now, that would be a different approach to the new year. And I like the idea of preparing spiritually for what newness wants to happen, because when I go about it as business as usual, sometimes I get caught up in business as usual, and then I miss the subtleties of what is trying to come through that's new and different. Our teaching, the science of mind, it's built on the assumption that the divine is this field of endless possibilities. And so I've come to think of that as a blank piece of paper in our soul's typewriter. And the next plot point in the story is waiting to be written by you, by me. And so when I think about it that way, I can see how taking a moment to breathe and to tune into life's possibility before I jump in head first into whatever I think is next, it could be a very good idea just to pause. Because, these days, there's such a rush to get things done, to finish things, to be productive, to get started, to produce results. I don't know about you, but I have jumped in head first into some projects that, looking back, it would have been a good idea to have taken a mindful breath first. A novelist named Matteo Bandello, he observed Leonardo da Vinci painting, working on that famous painting, The Last Supper. And he wrote that Leonardo da Vinci sometimes worked without interruption for hours. But then there were other times where he quietly contemplated the painting and did nothing. For an hour, for 2 hours, for 3 hours, without even touching a paintbrush. And when his employer got a little bit agitated about that and asked about it, was very impatient with all these long hours of nothing, Leonardo said, well, actually, while I'm contemplating, that's when I was getting the most work done. Yeah. During those seemingly idle moments, that was when the vision was becoming clarified, the vision that allowed that painting to become the priceless masterpiece that it is. Now, the Baha'i practice of fasting and contemplation just before the new year, I think it functions in a comparable way. They're not doing nothing. They're preparing. The 19 days are the preparation for the something new. It's not just being idle. I think Leonardo da Vinci would have understood that perfectly. And I think we do too. The practice of fasting reminds me of our Science of Mind practice of letting go and releasing. And it's the first of the 4 ideas I'd like to consider more frequently when something new wants to happen in my life. Release. You see, because to release means to let go of something, to let it fall away. And it can also mean to stop resisting the change that wants to happen by acknowledging it. Something like this. I'm going to be moving through some change, or I am moving through some change, so let me take a breath and let it be. It's happening. In the Baha'i tradition, there is a teaching related to detachment, in which a person is instructed to not allow anything to control or possess them. Release. Or as one contemporary Baha'i teacher wrote on the Baha'iTeachings.org website, letting go lightens my load and frees my spirit, and that, in turn, releases yet more energy and creativity. Oh, I like that. That's an idea that I'm going to be taking in deeply, especially when I find it's difficult to let go. So I'm going to take the idea and I'm going to reframe it and talk to myself something like this, saying, I am releasing into the creative energy that brings newness. Something is being let go of so that something else can come in. It's a good practice for me because I tend to hold on to some things, when I don't want them to complete, even though some part of me knows it's time. And sometimes what I need to release is an idea. And the idea that something outside of me is the only thing that can make me whole. For example, here are some things that I've carried. Maybe you have some of these. I'll be happy once I have the right relationship. I'll be complete once he or she or they does this and such for me. I'll be worthy once my boss gives me a raise, or I'll be perfect once my body looks a certain way, or if my parents hadn't done this and such, I could have that and this. So release for me has come to mean a softening of these ideas that something specific outside of me is the only way that I can be happy. Now, of course, circumstances matter. I'm not saying that circumstances don't matter. A difficult relationship or an illness or a boss who withholds recognitions. These are real. And they affect us emotionally. And I'm not going to pretend that they don't. Still, the question that I'm willing to ask myself is this. Must my spiritual wholeness wait for these things to change before I can breathe more easily and move more freely? So again, release for me has come to mean holding this a little lightly, while at the same time asking myself, what would it be like for me to think of myself, to imagine myself being a blank page, and to understand that the page isn't blank because it's empty, because there's nothing there. No, it's blank because of how much is possible. It's an open space where something is on the verge, waiting to be born. And can I let myself be curious about that, even excited? And then the next step of the four comes to risk. Risked leaning into the possibility. First release, then risk. And for our imagined author in that black and white movie, it might look like typing something, anything, on that page. Or for us, it can mean take a small step in the direction we think we're going. Risk doing something. Not reckless, but appropriately curious about what may be. Oh, this is bringing memories of the time when I was writing my first book. I had this romantic image of all the words pouring out of me, perfectly in the first draft, just like they do in the movies. The reality is it took a long time to get started, and a lot of staring at walls. And then when I finally did get started, it was haltingly. And some of what came through was bad. Not good. A lot of it had to be cut out, edited, abandoned. But the thing is, I couldn't find the good bits until I got some of the mediocre stuff out and onto the page where it could be seen, changed, cut, improved. So yes, risk imagining. Risk getting started. Risk not being perfect. Risk starting in a mediocre place. Realistically, there can be many, many things that get in the way of taking that first step. It could be from something that happened a long time ago. Or it could be from something that happened a moment ago, I mean, did somebody once say to you something that discouraged you and you carry it still? Or did somebody betray you in love and are you cautious now? Or did a parent speak to you harshly and you wear that label? Or did society describe you as, I don't know, stupid, ugly, inappropriate, whatever it is? Or did you experience something worse than any of these things? Or did you do something that you wish you could have changed but you didn't yet, you know? Risk means acknowledging what happened and still taking that first step in the direction of newness anyway. Along with everything that happened and is happening, still take the step. Now, if I find I'm not in that place to take the step yet, that's what spiritual support is for. Like our after-service prayer, where we let someone else know the spiritual truth about us, while at the same time we're building our courage and our inner strength so that we can live and love and express and be. Which leads me to the third element of facing newness and growth, and that is the willingness to keep going once started. Release, risk, and then follow through. Because, you know, starting something new sometimes it comes with energy and excitement, and follow through becomes necessary when that energy dips, when newness wears off. There's usually a middle phase between a beginning and an end product, you know, and maybe characterized by it's not exciting anymore. It's not complete, but it's not exciting. And that's when follow-through is so valuable. And it can look like picking up on that conversation that needs to happen even though it feels uncomfortable and I'm avoiding it. Or it can look like returning to a project, whatever its nature, after losing the momentum and using some kind of self-discipline to get there. So I've come to think of follow-through as a practice of using my attention mindfully by asking, where is my mind right now? So for me, it's a practice of being present as much as possible rather than letting life drift past me. Because sometimes the challenge of sustaining movement isn't fear. Sometimes it's plain old boredom, or distraction, or avoidance, or the quiet doubt that, oh, maybe this isn't worth it after all. And in that moment, that's when that beautiful Curtis Mayfield song reminds us to keep on keeping on. You know, that's a song that was written for moments exactly like this. Not the beginning, not the end, but the unglamorous middle, where showing up is everything. One of the most quoted lines in the Baha'i teaching is this: let deeds, not words, be your adorning. Oh, I love that. You know, I say it like this: let me decorate my life with as much actions as I do with words. Yeah, and that idea, for me, it closes the gap between the beginning of something and the end goal. Keep on keeping on. Don't only talk about it. And that might require trust, which is the fourth piece of the puzzle. Release. risk, follow through, trust. Now, here is my take on trust. It may not be for everyone. I don't believe in blind trust. I've been burned by that. Now, I trust life to be just as it is and just as it is not. I trust some actions will lead somewhere and some won't. I trust that some of the writing I put on the page will be useful, and some won't. See, right side along the word trust, there's a word that I really enjoy: confidence. Let me have confidence in myself and in the creative power within me. And if I stumble, let me be gentle with myself when I start again. Let me have confidence in the creative power that flows through me, especially during those times when my human mind cannot see the end or the solution. When it seems like I've gone as far as I can, and then there is this space, this expanse, the place between where I am and where I think I want to be. I wrote about this in that book I told you about, Ordinary Goodness. In it I retold the classic story of the tightrope walker who stretches a rope across a canyon and walks across it for a crowd watching, and they cheer with delight as he does that. Then he puts a friend in a wheelbarrow and he carries the friend across the rope, across the canyon in the wheelbarrow. And the crowd goes wild. And then he says, "Who would like to get in next?" And there's silence. They believed, they witnessed, they saw. Every one of them believed, and yet nobody climbed in. And in the book I wrote that that's the gap between watching and risking climbing in. And it's the most honest description of faith I know. Now, you and I can observe the tightrope walker, complete the journey 12 times, and then there's still that space between what we've seen and what it would feel like to get into the wheelbarrow. Oh, that space. I know it well. It's the gap between. And the way I know to meet that gap is to take a breath, to breathe, to be still, to turn within, to listen, to be in nature, to observe. And whenever I do anything like that, something settles down in me. I become a little more confident about what I think I'm being prompted to do. Now, the gap doesn't disappear, but I find I can move forward anyway. Even while some uncertainty remains. That's what I mean by confidence. It grows through curiosity, through experiment, through risking, through actions. It's the willingness to climb in, even trembling. And then when I do climb in, I do so with the full awareness that sometimes I may fall. And it's not because life rejected me, or because I was bad, or I didn't deserve it, or I don't have faith. No. If I fall, it's because sometimes people fall. That's it. It remains a possibility. But life has taught me to trust something else too. I trust goodness in the form of people who help me get up when I've fallen. That's holy. I trust goodness in the form of the love that prompts me to help others when they fall. That's holy. And I'm learning to be more aware of that and to draw upon it, to tune in. And that in turn helps me figure out when I should get into the wheelbarrow and when I should not. Now, not every risk in our life is as high stakes as a rope across a canyon. No, sometimes it's making a call. Sometimes it's writing a resume. Sometimes it's going on a date. Sometimes it's applying for a job. So now we return to that blank page image in the soul's typewriter. It's blank because so much is possible. Release creates the open space and tunes into the potential. Risk puts the first words on the page. Follow through keeps writing even through the messy middle parts. And trust is knowing that the story is being written through you and with you, and that every moment the plot can change. So, on this day, this first day of a new cycle, we can celebrate a new year or a new beginning. Or we can also just begin to notice that potential, that recurring potential for newness within ourselves every moment. And perhaps today or this week it will be accompanied by a gentle step in the direction of that which your life is calling you to express. I invite you to breathe in with me and to exhale. There is only one life. That life is the presence of infinite potential, the energy that creates everything and anything, that which is the presence above, below, inside, outside, in all times and all space. And I am part of that, as is each person here. And through our shared heritage, then, we experience each other as family, as kindred spirits, as friends. And through that identification of traveling together, we feel the opening to express as one. Within me, it expresses as clarity and courage and curiosity. It guides me forward so that I am more easily able to identify what is mine to do and what is not mine to do. And this I accept on behalf of everyone who finds resonance with this idea. And so I release this word with gratitude into that aspect of the spiritual realm that we call the law, to remind me to hold everything lightly and to trust that on the unseen side of life, it is moving, it is done. And together we say, and so it is. Once again, a breath in and another sigh, as we use that movement of breath to make the transition to the part of our service where we support our center with our contributions. There are all kinds of ways to contribute, and we are grateful for everything that you contribute. And if you have any questions about how you might contribute, please don't hesitate to speak to me or Reverend Russ or Linda outside, and we will let you know about the methods that we have in place to make your practice of spiritual circulation easy and enjoyable and exciting. And I ask the ushers to stand now while you prepare your gift, saying, I bless this gift. I send it forth to heal and prosper. It does amazing work in the world. And so it is. Ushers, please receive the gift.
Gotta go, destination unknown, no holding back. Oh no, I'm discovering my flow. I'm saying yes to myself and the fire in my cells, 'cause I'm moving with the mystery, honoring myself, letting go. Letting go.
Thank you again for all the gifts that you share with this wonderful community. Today is the day of our annual member meeting. And this is the time, yeah, I love the woohoos. Oh, great. This is the time when our members meet to hear updates from Dr. Edward about our senior minister search committee, the capital campaign for our roof, to vote in our 3 new trustees, to appreciate our outgoing trustees. There they are. Those are the incoming trustees right there. And to conduct any business. Now, we need a quorum to do business. That's a certain percentage of our membership. So if you are an active member in our community, please register on our website today for the Zoom meeting if you have not already. And you must register before 12:30 p.m. Because the meeting starts at 1 p.m. So we won't be able to send you the link unless you registered before then. If you are sticking around here in the center, we want to make sure everyone has enough time to be able to join. So we're going to be closing the social hall at 12:30 p.m. today. So we look forward to seeing all of our members in our meeting. Now, what if forgiveness felt like coming home to yourself? You know, often we're taught that forgiveness is about forgiving other people, but much of the time I've found that real forgiveness work, it begins with us and the emotional burdens that can sometimes linger. And these are ideas that we're going to explore in Reverend Scioto Bell's upcoming class called Coming Home, the Practice of Self-Forgiveness. And in that class, you'll learn what forgiveness is and what forgiveness is not, and how you can start small, and that can lead to big healing, and how you can incorporate the ancient Hawaiian practice of ho'oponopono to discover self-compassion and wholeness. So that class is beginning in April, and you can find that on our website. Another class beginning in April. Sometimes I know it can feel like my nervous system is on fire. Have you ever had that experience where you just can't settle down? Well, the key that I found in these moments is to find a way to move my body. And I notice that when I can bring gentle movement into my life, that's when my nervous system settles down. And of course, my mind tends to follow shortly thereafter. And these are the ideas that are behind the upcoming Awareness Through Movement class that is being led by certified Feldenkrais instructors Donna Hoover and Susan Hammond. And in that class, through gentle movement, you'll learn how you can expand your awareness while also calming your nervous system. And our students in that class often remark about feeling calmer and more relaxed at the end of class, as well as becoming more comfortable in their own movement as well as their posture. So you can find both of those on our website. Now, if you didn't know, there are a number of ways that you can connect with all of your friends here in the center throughout the week, not just on Sundays. And one way is to join us every Wednesday at 7 p.m. right here at the center for our Wednesday evening service. And in it, we share inspiration about the science of mind as well as a spiritual practice to go along with that. And this Wednesday, Reverend Scioto Bell is going to be there and sharing how we can build a concrete spiritual healing plan so that we've got that plan ready anytime we might encounter challenges in the world. So we look forward to seeing you there for that. And another exciting way that you can connect in our community is through our Nurturing Our Community events. And these are small gatherings that are centered around food and something interesting like a tea party or making tie-dye shirts or music. And they take place in our members' homes. And here's a video from someone who attended one of our Nurturing Our Community events last year.
On a perfect Sunday in June, the weather was mild and comfortable as Lou and I sat outside on the patio of the Hattons having hors d'oeuvres and Lyle's homemade fizzy wine, which was a treat. We were really just trying to get to know each other, and we were trying to get to know the other people that were at the table, so that we could leisurely chat and just sort of get into the mood of being together. When I bid on this pulled pork party, I wasn't really sure what I was getting into. And as it turns out, this Nurturing Our Community program was really varied and a wonderful way to get to know everyone at our table. So we went inside and we relished in the fun of pulling the pork. Lyle had made a wonderfully roasted pork shoulder, and it was absolutely delicious. Along with some sides and a scrumptious dessert, it was quite a meal. The best part for me, though, was communing with and breaking bread with people I didn't know. It was an opportunity for us all to just get to know each other better. The conversations began on a variety of topics with each other, and we shared outlooks on our lives. So we left the hospitality of the Hattons well-fed and nurtured, mind and body.
So that's Nurturing Our Community. And today is the day to register to bid in April. We have a table out there in the social hall where you can register, and that does require you to put your credit card into our registration system. We only charge you if you win your bid on that particular event. So please be sure to have fun bidding. It gets quite competitive. It's fun to watch. And if you prefer, you can register online at cslsr.org/NOC for Nurturing Our Community, and then pick up your bidding number and catalog on the next Sunday that you're here in the social hall. And bidding begins on April 5th, and it will run for 3 Sundays then. So make sure that you're here to get your bids in. Thank you so much for being part of our community. I'm delighted to be here, and have a wonderful week.
Thank you very much, Reverend Russ, and thank you for being here today. I look forward to seeing some of you online this afternoon. And if you're not yet a member, I believe we're going to be able to post the meeting online so you can review it once it's all done, all the business is done. I think so. If there is something that is incomplete in you, or if you cried yourself to sleep last night, or you're working on, maybe you're in a beginning of something new, or in that middle phase, or wrapping up something, and you'd like some spiritual support for the journey, please do not go home without taking advantage. Online, it's through our confidential Zoom rooms. Information on our website, right here in the room. Just go back to the host in the corner, and she will hook you up with a prayer practitioner who will listen to you and then tell you the truth of your being in no uncertain terms. It's a wonderful gift to give yourself. With that in mind, won't you please stand as you are able, saying, something wonderful is happening through me right now. Something wonderful is happening through me right now. It is this thing called life. Life is in my mind, life is in my body, and life is in my affairs. I think it, I feel it, and I accept it. Just the way that it is. And just the way that it is not. Thank you, life. Know with me that you are never alone, that Spirit is right where you are, that you have only to look within at any moment to know that you're guided, sustained, and empowered by a presence that expresses itself as you in this world. In deepest gratitude, let us live our lives accordingly, so that in everything that we do and say and think, we honor this presence within, and so it is. Thank you for being here, and next week, oh, don't be late, we're singing Curtain Mass, okay? It's going to be lovely. Now let's close in song.
I release and I let go. I Let the Spirit